It started with something small, a PR box that never arrived. But it ended with a public unsubscribe and a weary confession. I defended her when no one else would. Stassi Schroeder, the very television personality who had spent years calling herself Meghan's #1 fan, went live, took the crown off her idol, and walked away, slamming the door behind her. The reason sounds almost trivial. The As Ever brand sent out influencer gift boxes, and she wasn't on the list. A petty slight? Perhaps in 2017. But in 2025, when Meghan's entire career depends on audience loyalty and the soft power of girlfriends, it becomes a symptom, loud and damaging. Ask yourself, what strikes harder, a scathing headline in the press, or the silence of a fan who stood by you when it was inconvenient? Our 50-plus audience knows this better than the young. When the break is not in the image but in trust, no glossy cover can patch the wound. And yes, this story has a continuation, far more dangerous than one disgruntled podcaster. Stassi is simply the first to say aloud what many in the squad have been whispering for months. Her gratitude lasts only until the next selfie. Let us rewind. Remember the original circle of Meghan's girls. At the beginning there were cozy evenings at Soho Farmhouse, girls' nights out, reciprocal Instagram tags. Millie McIntosh, a London TV personality with the right connections, practically shepherded Meghan through the city. Here's the stylist, here's the restaurant, here's the address book. But once the romance with Harry began, Millie received only a brisk "not the right time," and then silence. Any adult knows the code. You are no longer part of the script. Millie didn't dramatize, she simply stepped away. But in the industry, memory lingers. And the industry remembers for a long time. Then came the louder rupture. Jessica Mulrooney, the woman without whom there would have been no Kensington phase, the fittings, the recordings, her twins carrying the wedding train. She was the one Meghan called first after Harry's proposal. It looked like a forever friendship. Then came 2020, a scandal over privilege on Instagram, 3 public apologies, collapsed contracts, and a deep freeze. By the time Spare and the Netflix docuseries appeared, Jessica's name had vanished. For the squad, this was a shock. The keeper of secrets had been erased. And everyone else understood the message. Today you are in, tomorrow you are out. International friendships followed the same pattern. Once upon a time, Priyanka Chopra and Meghan traded compliments, swapped photos after Hamilton, spoke of clicking instantly. Later, missed weddings, skipped baby showers, press releases citing work commitments. No public break, no cancellation, just silence. But the audience sees it. Where Catherine's ties only grow stronger, decades of cultivated relationships and predictability, Meghan's circle is constant rotation. Yesterday's best friend becomes today's our paths have diverged. For older viewers, stability is currency, and Meghan has less of it every year. Another forgotten but telling figure, Violet von Westenholz, the discreet bridge between Charles' private circle and London's social set, rumoured to have played a role in introducing the couple. At the time, thank yous, glowing mentions, promise. Years later, nothing. No quarrel, no slammed door. But reputation is built precisely in these silences. If a bridge is treated with care, people hear of it. If not, it vanishes as if it never existed. And so we arrive at the squad turning away not because of ideology or politics, but from the simple feeling of being undervalued. It is pure Hollywood and very dangerous. Because as ever, with love, recipe books and playlists do not rest on Netflix contracts but on that homegrown collective of goodwill, the likes, the reposts, the free reach. An offended micro-influencer today is 1,000 fewer shares tomorrow. And when there are not 1 or 2 such stories, building the long tail becomes impossible. Some will scoff. Does it really matter what a reality star thinks? For the numbers, it matters. The second part of With Love never cracked the top 10, there was no viewing tail, the Christmas special no longer looks like a guaranteed wow moment. Why? Because the loyal core is already saturated, and new viewers arrive through the networks of precisely those Sussexes, the people who provide not premiere week spikes but sustained demand. Loyalty sulks quietly, but it avenges loudly, with silence. The squad's turn is not soap opera drama. It is a threat to Meghan's entire business model. When your main asset is "I'm just like you, only with prettier pictures," you cannot afford to project the opposite. I'm just like a guest list at a closed-door gala. This is why the PR box scandal resonates. It isn't about candles and jam, it's about respect. Older audiences read those gestures instantly. Who matters to you? Colleagues in the industry, friends when convenient, or those discarded after doing their part? Layer in the simmering conflicts, from Millie to Jessica, and you get a reputational pattern that no press release can erase. At the very moment William and Catherine project the opposite dynamic, events grow louder, their private noise grows quieter. Meghan's brand looks like constant reinvention. New image, new cycle, new circle, old misunderstandings. The contrast is brutal. One side embodies reliability, the other, permanent rebranding of friendships. There is also the subtle factor of gratitude. In a world where content rules, thank you must be loud and timely. 30 seconds in stories is not a burden, but it is cement. I see you, you supported me. When instead of cement there is silence, the house stands on sand. Our older audience knows, nothing is cheaper than a kind word, and nothing costs more than a missed chance to say it. The cherry on top is the creeping sense that any personal contact with Meghan may become content tomorrow. A baby shower with sponsor lists, rare children's photos timed to campaigns, insider quotes from friends in glossy magazines. For the squad this is not intrigue, it is a red flag. If everything is fodder, what remains sacred? And why are those closest often the first to disappear once the storyline shifts? Against this backdrop, Catherine's silence is louder. For years she has carried the dull but essential work without relying on friends to prop up her image. Not because she is flawless, but because she is predictable. Older audiences prize not sparkle but endurance. When one woman represents steadiness and the other endless rebooting of her friendships, the public makes its choice almost unconsciously. Does Meghan have a way back? Always. And it is simpler than it looks. First, stop confusing friends with mailing lists. Second, apology beats resentment, especially when offered before disappointment turns into a podcast. Third, recognize that the squad is not staff but capital. You cannot spend capital without limit, it runs out. Fourth, stop using the rarity of the children as a diversion. For those who recall how fiercely children were protected in far harsher eras, it feels less like family joy than like a marketing tool. The final hook, Millie, Jessica, Priyanka, the forgotten influencer left off a PR box, all of these are not tabloid scraps. They are a string of small no thank yous that add up to one large we are no longer valued. And when the fan club turns its back, only one force remains: real work and real consistency. In a Hollywood fairy tale, that may sound like a dull ending. In real life, it is the only ending that works. If Meghan embraces it, everyone wins. If she once again bets on effect and disposable friendships, the next defection will be louder than Stassi, and the echo will carry not just across Instagram feeds but into the numbers on her contracts.